Daughter of Michigan Republican urges people to vote against her dad. For the love of God, do not vote for my dad for state rep. It's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving this year. How terrible do you have to be for your own kid to publicly call you out and beg people to not vote for you? Reagan is a red-blooded Republican who previously described himself as so conservative that he makes Rush Limbaugh look like a liberal, and boasted about being the first candidate to support President Donald Trump. This is like bragging about getting the lowest score on an IQ test. I will strongly and loudly campaign against my wannabe GOP politician brother if he's ever able to crack through a primary. His views are getting crazier and crazier, and he's getting more and more vocal about them, hoping to catch the eye of GOP state-level leaders. From the League of Women Voters. https://www.vote411.org/ Check, register, vote. His issues include making English the official language in Michigan, opposing all forms of immigration reform, which Reagan calls a code word for amnesty, opposing abortion, and restoring Michigan's constitutional militia. Why does Michigan need a state militia if they already have the Michigan Army National Guard and the Michigan Air National Guard? Or are reasonable questions like that an anathema for Republican logic? Just because it wasn't included in the original tweets, the representative people in that district should vote for instead is Bill Saxton, D. Bill Saxton is the guy to vote for. Imagine living a state that has some of the worst roads in the country, that has toxic water in Flint, that has greedy billion-dollar corporations taking tons of water from its Great Lakes for basically free, and instead being worried about what language people speak. Sounds like another alt-right Christian theocrat. The sad thing is, as bad as Trump is, there are people in the GOP who are worse than he is. Michigan Republican candidates are just awful. It's consistently a race to the bottom with these guys. I just received my absentee ballots papers in the mail. I'm mailing them out tomorrow. And I'll gladly take her advice and not vote for her dad. Robert Reagan is in State House District 73, which is a strip that goes any out of Grand Rapids. There is a three-way primary race on the Republican side. The Democratic side is only one candidate, Bill Saxton. Bill lost by 20 points in 2018 to the current office holder, not running. In 2016 the Republican beat the Democrat by 31 points. If you want to help flip the MI State House, check out https://flip4me.com to see 9 promising candidates that can flip red districts to blue. There are 4 in the same general vicinity as Reagan: Christine Morse, Cade Wilson, Abigail Wheeler, and Chokwe Pitchford. The site has a joint fundraising account and links to all their social pages and websites so you can volunteer, make phone calls, like and share their content, or donate. Vote blue. This reminds me of Ron Reagan Jr. At age 12, he told his parents he was an atheist and wouldn't go to church with them. He's been a leftist for his entire adult life. He spoke at the Democratic Convention in 2004, and endorsed Obama and Bernie. Republicans, the party of people whose children no longer speak to them. I'm from Michigan. I'll spread the word. If the man's own daughter pleads for her fellow state people not to vote for him, he's obviously problematic. I know her personally and am so proud of her for this stance. Removed. It's interesting that these family values Republicans always seem to have the most fucked up relationships with family. Do you not want to have a relationship with your daughter in 20 years? Because this is how you don't have a relationship with your daughter in 20 years. Well, the dad's latest tweet refers to Trump as daddy, literally, so the family dynamics must be crazy. The issues page on Saxton's website is far less exhaustive than Reagan's, but they make clear his passion for providing small business support, robust education funding, and clean drinking water to Michiganders. America is such a dystopian hellscape that providing a basic public service that the Romans mastered 312 years before Christ is a notable campaign platform. We had a similar situation last year with our city council election. One of the candidates, running as a conservative slate with 2 others for the 3 at-large seats, was a former deacon of an infamous local church, and his child basically said do not vote for him and mentioned some issues of abuse because of their gender identity. Oh man, I can't imagine what he must be like as a father, partner, relative etc. if she's putting this out. Once I moved out of my parents, I began telling people about my abusive dad and he lost a few friends. This guy is a fucking psycho. Wants to take all foreign language translations out of any state publications. Wants to ban abortion. Wants to make a state-level version of ICE and close highways/profile immigrants, and it's Michigan so he has a good chance of getting elected. One of my wife's best friends was kicked out of the house by her Trump-loving parents in the height of lockdown. Her father is a state rep that ran on family values and liberal hating. All because she vague booked about the importance of wearing a mask, and they got all snowflakey and felt attacked even though she purposely didn't name names or give details. So she packed up her child and some necessities and moved in with us until she secured some housing. She returned the next day, a Sunday, while they were in church so there wouldn't be any confrontation, but they had all the doors locked, spare key hidden, and a ring door thingy installed. So there is no longer any contact between a Republican state rep, his daughter, and his grandchild, all because a very healthy and in shape mid-50s white man didn't want to be told to wear a mask in public during a worldwide pandemic. Fuck him. I can't wait for his re-election campaign where he will have to explain illegally evicting his daughter during a worsening health crisis all because he didn't want to wear a mask because Dementia Donnie wasn't. I hope he burns in hell. American Dad vibes LOL. She's definitely out of the will. My favorite variety of modern schadenfreude is when the immediate relatives of Republican politicians make statements calling them assholes and distancing them from the rest of the family. I was already not gonna vote for him, but this is just priceless. A lot of students, when they go off to these liberal university campuses, like the University of Colorado, the University of Texas and Austin, and she went to the University of Colorado in Boulder, and they just kind of get sucked into this Marxist, communist ideology, and she and I just don't see eye to eye when it comes to the whole socialism, communism, Marxist philosophy, he said. When asked what he thinks could have prompted his daughter to ask people not to vote for him, Reagan said her big thing has to do with the systemic racism that's going on in the country. She's a big believer in that, he continued, while adding, the only place where I really see systemic racism would be the abortion clinic cause they seem to target the African American community. These are the statements of Joe Reagan, according to The Hill. https://thehill.com/homenews/campaign/504615 Michigan candidate's daughter urges people not to vote for him in viral. He sounds like a delight, doesn't he? He doesn't end either. I'm not saying there's not hurdles to overcome. We all have hurdles to overcome, as a quote-unquote rich, white, Christian male, people look at me a certain way. And it's not always good. So, everybody has obstacles to overcome, he also said, while adding he thinks President Trump, https://thehill.com/people/Donald Trump, has done more for the black community than any president we've had in the last 20 years. Okay. He also said, unlike his daughter, he doesn't believe white privilege exists and said he thinks their differing opinions on the matter could have also prompted her tweet. Reagan said his daughter recently sent him an article about the topic, but he said there's no scientific data behind it. It's like, really, he said. A known fact like man-made global warming? No, these things are debatable all day long. We need to have a debate. Ostrich head in the sand, Joe Reagan. Wow. Maybe his daughter should run for office against him to destroy him. Kidding, I know she is not of age to run. Hopefully she keeps her activism and helps his opponent wreck him.